Alright guys, hope you're all having a great day. I am, and today I'm gonna start on the Human Nature album, starting from the first track, Music. We're gonna work our way through and finish off with the last orchestral piece as one big video, or live stream actually. I was thinking about that if everybody wants to hang out and listen to it together and maybe talk about it, depending on how you guys like the videos leading up to it, I guess. So before we do that, I do want to give a little bit of an introduction just because I've posted 2 videos and you guys just don't know anything about me. So my name is Sean. I'm from Toronto, Canada. And I also go by the name Austin, as the channel name suggests. I've been in music production for the last 2.5 years. So Austin's actually my artist name. Right now I'm working towards more library stuff for more music licensing, and my main focus has always been rock and orchestral music, and mixing the two. So obviously that brings us back to why I love Nightwish so much, and just symphonic metal in general is just, in the last 2 years, I've gotten so heavily into it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to do this, and I'm no longer calling these reaction videos because they're not. I'm a big fan of Nightwish. I know the song Music. I haven't actually seen the official lyric video, so I'll talk about that. But because my background is more music production, I would love to start talking more about Thomas with his writing and the music specifically. Because I know a lot of other people are doing reactions based on floor and more of the vocals, which is awesome, and I love watching that stuff. It's so fascinating to hear people talk about specifically what she's doing, and I would like to just see if I can do the same thing with the music side of it. So we're just gonna jump in, and this lyric video is new to me. I never searched up any of the lyric videos for some reason. I saw the music video for Noise, and that was pretty much it. So I don't know what to expect, but yeah, we'll talk about it as we go. So let's get into it. So I do. Oh, bad. So this song is primarily about music descending onto man. So if you notice right off the bat, it's just ambience. There's that one tapping sound that has a really long decay tail in its reverb, which this is being matched with a shot of space now, which is really cool. So and then the flowing kind of pulsing synth in the background. There's a bunch of layers going on, so it just gives you that kind of sense of emptiness and space. There's no real tempo or melody going on. So this is pre-man. This is basically just nothing. Okay, so this changes scenes. So I'm assuming this is telling more of a story along with the music, which is cool. I like that. So this is now man. Tribal drums, that one low horn. It's playing a C3. So it's tuned to that note, but there's still no real music going on. It's a cool scene. And then this is where music would be coming down, descending onto man. Is that a harp? That is a harp. That's cool. Also, I do want to point out, I'll back it up just a little bit, but the modulated or arpeggiated kind of synth that's in the background of this is very, if anybody knows the side project that Tomas did called Ari, he did that with his wife and Troy from Nightwish between Endless Forms and this album. And he went on to say that that side project basically opened up the floodgates for this album. So I actually kind of hear that album as an extension of this, but with like a different feel. And you can hear influences from that album everywhere on this album, and this being one of them. Harvest is another song that is sounds a lot like it could be on that album too. But yeah, that arpeggiated kind of modulated synth in the background that's kind of just fluttering there is very Ari sounding. So if you guys haven't checked that out, definitely do that. Epic choir. Yeah, so this is now music descending onto man. And I guess we'll see what man does with it. Big strings ensemble. So just a few comments. Number one, I like the fact that the video was telling a story by changing scenes up until the lyrics came in, and then it kind of just kept this background so it doesn't distract you too much. So I like that. I also want to point out the way Tomas writes lyrics and lyric melodies. Obviously, it varies depending on what the song needs, but in this case, where the lyrics are just telling a story without having to rhyme. It's not like the typical like A, B, and then an A to rhyme, and then a B to rhyme. It's just telling a story. It's going through the melody. Words sometimes have to be stretched to make it fit, but they're not forcing cheap rhymes to tell the story. And I feel like it feeling more like a story being told instead of like a rhyme makes you kind of, it sucks you in a little bit more, and it does make it feel more like a story, which yeah, I absolutely love.
And never only you to sing, caress it deep, it's always there to unlock the stars, to enter music, fanning the flames of the mystery, deepening the listening, losing yourself to the endless symphony of now.
So again, the lyrics are just talking about how before music, the wind and surf was their music. The birds, all the like nature was their music. It was just the natural sounds. And then in comes music. I think it talks about blowing a bare bone, so that might be what you heard in the intro, which I believe is where music originally came from. It's just, you know, bones that were hollowed out to make some kind of horn, which could only produce one note, but that's where it starts, right? And then it just talks about a little bit about what impact music has made since then. So talking about eradicating the heavy heart, and yeah, so it's talking about the enlightened power that I guess music can have on man, and what we've been able to do with it since.
You want to dream, want to tell in major scale, wish to
There's so many references to other songs on this album in this one song. It kind of just sets up the rest of the album. It mentions Pan, Noise, the Moors, which I believe is one of the sections of the final instrumental song. So just before we go any further, leading up to that chorus, you could tell in the background the strings were slowly starting to get a little bit faster. Some staccato patterns were happening and they were slowly getting louder. And Tomas actually uses that quite a bit to let you know that something a little bit more faster pace is coming. It creates movement, but it's not right away. It kind of just builds, and then usually leads up into some kind of chorus. And then one thing I would like to touch on is the fact that they made a choice to leave the entire orchestra out of the first 9 songs. And besides the main band, I believe it's just strings, choir, and then some random bells and keyboard stuff that Tomas would play live. But I love that because going back to albums like Once, there's a lot of parts where in the big sections when everything is playing where the guitar gets very thin and it's just like a thin buzz, and the snare drum also gets kind of pushed back, and that's because a lot of mid-range frequencies that are in the orchestra just pile up on top of each other and something has to win. And usually in big sections, like let's say like Ghost Love Score has a lot of big orchestral piece sections, something has to win, and usually they want you to hear and feel the full orchestra in those sections. So a lot of other things get kind of pushed back, but in this album the first 9 songs doesn't have that issue. So I find the band itself sounds so much fuller and punchier because of it, and then they make up for the orchestral piece at the end. So yeah, I think that was a good choice. Hey, nice beer, guy. That little thing he did there, where he starts the next phrase on the second beat. He does that a lot. He does that leading into, after the first chorus of Storytime, leading into the main riff before it goes into the second verse, he does the same thing. But I always like that because it kind of just, it throws you off for like a split second. It kind of makes you be like, oh, wait a second. Those are symphonic strings. You can always tell because they're more in the forefront. And they always sound like they're layered with a pad because they're usually not real strings. The real strings are kind of in the background. I love these images of just vast nothingness and then this one symbol of the music. Very cool video. Fits well with the song, but it doesn't distract you. I like that. I was kind of curious as to what they were going to do, because I know the original idea was that they were only... the original idea was they weren't going to do any music videos for this album. And then they decided to do one for Noise. But Tomas had very specific visions for it. Like the band wouldn't be playing, Floor wouldn't be singing. It wasn't a performance thing. He wanted it to be about the subject matter, which I think they did really well. A fun thing about this song that I like is that originally it was supposed to be every section was a different genre. So it would start off with like a metal intro, kind of hit hard, I guess, kind of like Noise. And then I believe it was supposed to go into like a more groovy, jazzy kind of verse, a pretty straightforward chorus that was more electronic, and then I think Tomas even said like some soul elements in it. And then he heard the demo and shared the demo with everybody else, and just nobody liked it. So he went back and he changed it. But he did kind of keep the same idea, in which like every section is a little bit different. It had that ambience sound in the beginning, to kind of give you that feel of emptiness before everything, and then transition into that tribal drum section, where it's really atonal. There's really not much music. It's just that one low horn playing a C3, I believe. And then music descends onto it, and it was still very minimalistic. And you'll notice he starts adding elements as he tells the story, up until the final band comes in and everything's playing. So as the story's being told, more elements are being introduced to make the frequency spectrum bigger, make the song feel bigger, and like it's progressing along with the story. Yeah, just smart writing from a very smart man. So yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'll be doing Noise actually probably today. I'm pre-recording some videos because I'm going away for 3 weeks, but I wanted to keep uploading stuff for you guys to watch, because I've just really been enjoying the process, and I love reading the comments. So I wanted to keep this train going, and I'm gonna keep this one's gonna be up on Wednesday, tomorrow, and then I'm gonna have another one up on Friday, and then yeah, we'll just continue from there up until the last song. And I'll probably just do one big video or a live stream where we can just kind of, everyone can watch it together and we'll talk about it live. I think that'd be really cool. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.